Good evening. There were concerns among the G20 leaders themselves that their Rome summit would amount to little. But deals have been reached on corporate tax and new global vaccination targets. However, climate commitments remain a point of contention, and the diplomatic turmoil over Australia's cancelled submarine deal with France continues. Chief International Correspondent Ben Lewis joins us now live from Rome. Good evening, Ben. Now, when this summit wraps, do you think world leaders can leave with a genuine sense that they've achieved something of substance?
Well, Janice, good evening. Put it this way, progress has been made on issues on which there was already broad agreement, like cracking down on corporate tax avoidance, for example. But when it comes to emissions reduction, sharp divisions remain, and the talks in the next few hours are going to be critical when it comes to climate. Divisions remain too between Scott Morrison and Emmanuel Macron, even though the Australian Prime Minister, as he put it, managed to say g'day to his French counterpart.
Family photos are always tricky to choreograph. You need to make sure everyone turns up on time, including Boris Johnson. Then there's the matter of positioning. Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron's Roman Renaissance continues, with no signs of any lingering AUKUS-induced awkwardness. Scott Morrison has some work to do to win back French affections. He and President Macron did speak, but only briefly. Their first in-person encounter since the cancelled submarine deal.
He was happy to exchange those greetings, and we've known each other for a while, but it's just the process of being on the road back.
As for President Biden's suggestion he didn't know the French had been kept in the dark.
Well, all I can say is that we kept the US administration up to date with the status of what our conversations and discussions had been with the French government.
This summit is meant to be about a renewed sense of unity.
We must do all we can to overcome our differences. And we must rekindle the spirit that led to the creation of this group.
And some progress has been made. G20 nations will pledge to vaccinate 70% of the world's population by mid-next year, while a 15% global minimum tax rate for corporations is set to be introduced from 2023. But when it comes to climate action, roadblocks remain, outside and inside the summit.
G20 nations are responsible for an estimated 80% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, and so there is the prospect of making real progress on climate here in Rome. But leaders have wildly differing views on what needs to be done to combat global warming and how much it should cost.
The host of the soon-to-start COP26 conference making a last-minute bid to secure tougher national pledges, including one from China.
And they've made progress on overseas financing of coal. That's a good thing.
But it's the language in the final communiqué about the phasing out of coal that's still proving problematic.
There is quite a large group of nations that hold similar concerns about this, and so we'll see where that lands in the next day or so.
What's decided in Rome today will go a long way to determining the chance of success in Glasgow.